Bananas! They're practically a toy you get to eat. It's a phone. It's a good model for demonstrating safe sex, and it's the only snack that also helps your getaway driver. Bananas are versatile. That's what makes them so popular. And the fact that they're practically free. But bananas is also a word Jess and I tend to use a lot instead of crazy. While crazy isn't typically on the radar of words to avoid using, the word is often used to trivialize mental illness. So we try not to use it. For example, I'm absolutely bananas about you. So here's a quick list of other words to replace words that aren't aging too well while we make banana bread in the background. Because like bananas, words can grow old and gross over time, but like mushy-ass bananas, we can reuse or repurpose words into a delicious banana bread. So, trigger warning. Some audio clips from other media will contain words that might make you uncomfortable. These will not include racial, sexist, transphobic, or homophobic slurs of any kind. Y'all just shouldn't be using those. So let's get a big one out of the way immediately. The R word. You know the one.
Cute. Your sister's boss gave me a microscope that would have made me retarded.
Ooh, oh boy, Rick. I don't think you're allowed to say that word, you know?
Yeah, that one. In Rick and Morty's defense, they do try to correct themselves.
Morty, I'm not disparaging the differently abled.
Except you shouldn't actually be using that phrase either. The phrase differently abled certainly has its heart in the right place, but it accidentally implies disabled or disability are bad words when they aren't. There's nothing wrong or abnormal about being disabled or having a disability, so that's why the term differently abled just doesn't quite work. So some suggest people first language, and some people like it, and some people don't. People first just tries to remind us of the ties that bind. Simply, we're all human.
We are Groot.
Yeah, sort of. But since disabilities are inherently part of someone, many disabled people don't like people first language because it implies disabilities are something apart from them or something to overcome. Like, you wouldn't call Daredevil a superhero with blind. That sounds ridiculous. You wouldn't say he's a hero with Catholicism either. Matt Murdock's a blind Catholic who happens to also be good at punching bad people late at night. Now, I know all of these rules can feel a bit... I just don't want to offend anyone! But it's actually quite simple. Ask people what they prefer to be called. Typically, it'll be their name, but what are you gonna do? And I can hear the clickety-clackety of keys saying, we're blowing this out of proportion, and this is totalitarianism in sheep's clothing, and before long, you're basically Hitler! This is our second group of words. The common use of Hitler in Reddit and YouTube comments is a fallacy called reductio ad absurdum. Basically, it means you take an argument to the point of being absolutely bananas. In 1953, Leo Strauss, a University of Chicago professor, coined the term reductio ad Hitlerum to refer to this very phenomena. But we think maybe you should stop using the words Hitler and Nazis so much. Hear us out. There are now actual neo-Nazis marching in the street, so... The worry is that we toss around the words Hitler and Nazi so much they've kind of lost their meaning. It's truly bizarre that we'll compare someone we don't like to easily the worst person who's ever lived. We've cried Nazis so much that now that there are actual self-avowed white nationalists on TV...
We're not supposed to use that word. You know what I am? I'm a nationalist, okay?
We don't really have the language to criticize it anymore. Oh, and side note, the whole Hitler and Nazi thing was one of the greatest tragedies in human history that resulted in the deaths of millions of Jewish people, gay men, and lesbian women, disabled people, and many other groups. So maybe let's not toss around those terms willy-nilly? On that side note, also avoid slave for the same reason. Sorry, Brittany. Speaking of marginalized groups, don't say gypsy. Gypsy is a derogatory term for Roma people, and it's unfortunately where the term gypped comes from. So that term is actually really offensive. And on that note, can we stop with the term spirit animal? It trivializes an important part of Native American spirituality. Just say Patronus, because that's what you're all thinking anyway. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and that little notification button, and go find us on social media. Now, go make some banana bread and enjoy it with those mouths that are now a little wiser. Maybe that's not the best way to phrase that. Bye!
driving scores.